Hey everybody, I just wanted to make a quick video to give you the latest updates on the Lindsey Gaetani story that I've published over the last couple days on Twitter, as well as finally put the first piece of content here on my YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe while you're here, because we'll be adding content at an increasing frequency as we go. Now, for those of you that don't know, Lindsey Gaetani casually dated Aidan Kearney, also known as Turtle Boy, last year, and has become embroiled in a scandal where it's alleged that she entered into a conspiracy with Kate Peter, a former employee turned nemesis of Kearney, Leah Genduso, a former Massachusetts state trooper who lost her job when Kearney wrote about her, and despite that, subsequently entered into a short-term affair with him, Brian Tully, a lieutenant in the Massachusetts State Police, who was assigned to the State Police Detective Unit of the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office and supervised the squad of detectives who investigated the Karen Reed case, including the now infamous Michael Proctor, and Ken Mello, an attorney who was serving as special prosecutor on Kearney's cases in the same office. Now, the conspiracy revolved around the framing of Kearney for one count of witness intimidation against Gaetani in order to trigger a probation violation, which caused a revocation of his bond from an earlier controversial case where Kearney is charged with numerous counts of witness intimidation for his work as a journalist during the Karen Reed trial. Now, Gaetani has been the subject of a number of controversial moments so far, including making spurious allegations of sexual assault as well as physical abuse against Kearney that were not pursued by prosecutors. In our previous reporting, we uncovered evidence of these false allegations, and we have serious doubts about Gaetani's credibility as a witness at this point. Now, in the most recent story, a former acquaintance of Gaetani named Mary called into a YouTube show on the JFK Show-Off channel and told the audience about her experiences with Gaetani revolving around a pool party that several anti-Karen Reed activists attended in the summer. Now, before we get into the actual story of what occurred, Mary has been being attacked behind the scenes for weeks because Mary no longer believes that Karen Reed is responsible for killing John O'Keefe, and that makes her former friends really angry with her. So they've been attacking her in group chats behind the scenes, and most recently, about a week ago, some of them started attacking her publicly in Twitter posts and making allegations that she's mentally ill and some other things along those lines because of the fact that Mary had this information about them that they were trying to prevent from getting out. Now, Mary alleged that Lindsey had been drinking before she drove her kids to that pool party, and that at one point, Mary and her other friends were so concerned that they hid a water bottle containing alcohol from Lindsey so that she would be forced to sober up and not continue to drive drunk with her children when they left. Mary further alleged that Lindsey's small children weren't being properly supervised in the pool area, and that Mary's son and others had to rescue Gaetani's children a couple of times when they were in some trouble after they removed life jackets that they were using as water safety flotation devices in the pool. Now, at some point after that JFK live stream, Gaetani apparently became aware of the call-in to the show, and in a fit of rage, she called Mary multiple times. And when Mary finally answered, Gaetani threatened her life as well as the lives of her children. For those of you who missed it, we'll take a moment and listen to the call in just a second. But first, The audio from Gaetani's call is very graphic and it's not safe for work. So if you have any small children within earshot, or if you're in a work environment, you may want to pause this video at this point in order to either put some earbuds in, like me, or come back later when you're able to listen freely. I'll give you a minute now in order to pause or leave if you can't listen at the moment. Okay, now, in this audio that I'm about to play, Mary has already answered the call from Gaetani, and amid a flurry of threats being made, Mary informed Gaetani that she was going to record the remainder of the call. Now, Gaetani continued screaming at her, and that's the audio that you're about to hear. Again, this audio is shocking and not for the faint-hearted. Let's listen together now.
Why are you lying about my kids on an internet show and on the internet?
I'm not lying about your kids, Lindsey. Everything was true that I said. There was plenty of witnesses.
You stupid bitch!
You need to stop drinking. Sweetheart, you need to stop drinking.
You shut fucking
Stop.
I will come to your house and I will murder you and your kids. You understand me? You dumb bitch.
Okay, and we're back from that chilling audio. And since this call was reported, there's been a flurry of activity in this case. Mary called the police, and she's sought and received a harassment prevention order from the Attleboro District Court. The order specifies that Gaetani cannot contact Mary and must stay at least 50 yards or 150 feet away from her, her home, and her workplace. Immediately after news of the recording leak, though, people like Kate Peter and others took to Twitter to defend Gaetani, despite the clear audio evidence of the heinous death threats that Lindsey made to Mary and her children that we just listened to. Now, Lindsey's supporters, they began a campaign to somehow try and shift the blame to the victim, Mary, for being threatened by saying her call into the show instigated it in some way, or otherwise, they try to discredit her by accusing her of being mentally ill, despite having no evidence of that and no relevance to the clear and overwhelming evidence of Gaetani's guilt. Now, Peter and others posted several tweets suggesting that Gaetani should try and pursue wiretapping charges against Mary, as Massachusetts law requires both parties to a phone call to consent to being recorded. In the landmark 2009 Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court case, Commonwealth v. Morganti, the SJC interpreted that the wiretapping statute simply requires that notice be given to all parties on a call, and that if a party continues speaking after that notice has been given, that they've implied their consent to being recorded. In the case of the phone conversation with Gaetani, after speaking with Mary, I learned that not only did Mary tell Gaetani that she was going to begin recording the call due to her threats, the call was recorded using the recently implemented call recording feature in iOS 18. The call recording feature has been designed to be compliant with the law in all 50 states, including the 10 other states like Massachusetts that require all party consent in order to lawfully record phone calls. It does this through its use of an automated announcement that warns all parties before any recording begins. Here's a short video clip demonstrating that feature. Notably, the iPhone does not begin recording until after the warning announcement has been made, so despite audibly warning the callers, the warning itself is not contained within the recording. Let's take a quick look at how it works in this short clip. Okay, so what you see here on the screen is we have a call set up right now. This is FaceTime audio, but it works exactly the same way as it does if you are on a regular phone call on the iPhone. Now, all the user would have to do is come over here and take on the iPhone. If you look at the top left corner, you see that little icon that looks like a waveform and a dot. That's how you start the recording. And watch what happens here when I press the recording.
This call will be recorded.
So you see we have a little period of time there where it does a countdown to a warning. It plays the beep and the warning saying that the call will be recorded, satisfying the two-party consent requirements in the state of Massachusetts. And as soon as the call is done being recorded, you can either hang up or the person could stop recording, and you'll see once again you get a notification.
This call is no longer being recorded.
Now to recap, Kate Peter and Lindsey Gaetani supporters are trying to put the full court press on Mary, hoping that Gaetani can slip out of the mess that she's created for herself. However, their excuses appear to be no match for the strength of the evidence. As Mary has taken some precautions like obtaining the HPO in order to protect her family, the Mansfield Police continue to investigate what seems to be a strong criminal case against Gaetani. There's no word on if or when she may face charges from this incident. In my opinion, it's not a hard decision. Gaetani should be charged with a crime. Mary and her family deserve to be able to express themselves without fear. Mary shouldn't have been placed in such fear that she had to dictate her affidavit to a friend because her hands were shaking too much to write. Gaetani once again has exhibited a lack of control and severe anger management issues that, in my opinion, make her a continued danger to herself, a danger to her kids, a danger to Mary and her family, and frankly, a danger to society. It's beyond time that someone does something to force Gaetani to get the help that she truly needs in order to start to work toward giving her children a stable and safe environment free from her neglect and abuse. And that help has to include help with issues of substance abuse and anger management that she so desperately needs. That's it for now. Now, like and subscribe here on this channel in order to stay up to date on this case. And if you already don't follow me on X, make sure you do. It's HW on your case. There I'll give you the latest details and breaking news. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.